All right, shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off first and foremost by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Bahakadash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to those that are doing this work in truth and sincerity. This is your brother Nathaniel, like GMS Camp Atlanta, coming back at you the Spirit. And I pray and hope this lesson is edifying. This is Hebrews 10 and 30. It says, "For we know him that hath said, Vengeance belongeth unto me, I will recompense, saith the Lord. Again and again, the Lord shall judge his people. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power." Right? So we have a video right here that just happened last week. That is Jake, right? Who took his wife to get an MRI. And, well, I'm just going to play the video.
The man who was sucked into an MRI machine while wearing a 20-pound chain has sadly passed away. The incident happened on July 16th when police got a call that there was an emergency at NASA Open MRI in New York. 61-year-old Keith McAllister brought his wife Adrienne in for an MRI of her knee. And here is where everything went wrong, but there are two stories. Adrienne said the technician brought Keith into the room so that he could help her get out of the machine. She said the technician just allowed him into the room, but at the time, he was wearing a 20-pound chain that he used for weight training. But the employees say that's not what happened. They said Adrienne started shouting for help while she was in the machine, so Keith came running into the room even though he was told not to. Regardless, when Keith entered the room, the MRI started reacting to his chain and pulled him into the machine, choking him. The technician and Adrienne tried pulling him out, but they said there was a lock on the end of his chain and they weren't able to get it off. Adrienne said her husband waved goodbye, and then his body went limp in her arms. Keith was then transported to the hospital, where they said he suffered several heart attacks and then succumbed to his injuries the very next day. It's currently an investigation ongoing, but rest in peace to Keith. Let me know what you guys think.
All right, now, this is crazy because you got to really think how Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai put this man to death. Okay, so what will make him wear a 20-pound chain to take an MRI, to take his wife to the doctor? What will put it on her spirit to call him to run into that room? Why did he go? Why was her knee hurting that day to where they had to take an MRI? You see, all these things line up too perfectly for it to just be a random accident. He's wearing exactly what he needs to be wearing to get pulled in the machine. The wife calls him into the room right at the time that the machine was on, causing him to get pulled into it. And the spirit was on her to call him, right? And him probably having a history of helping his wife when she was in need, ran to her rescue. Well, guess what? The Heavenly Father had his ass pulled into that damn machine, and that machine took his life. So I say this to say that, hey man, you better be fearful of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, because he can do anything to take your goddamn life. Who would have thought that? Who would have thought? And this dude, he was in his 60s, but he still looked young. Look at him. You know, he still looked young, right? He still had a lot of vitality. You can look at him and tell that the dude was moderately healthy, but being 60 years old and you getting choked out like that, a machine can put a lot of stress on your heart. So I can understand why he had a heart attack and succumbed to his injuries, but to be put in a situation where everything lines up in such a perfect way shows you that it wasn't that shit was not that was a divine judgment. My man had on a chain with a lock on it, like you're not getting out of this. My man went into the room when the MRI machine was on. He was told not to go. He went in there anyway, and the result was my man got taken out of there. Okay, so yeah, it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. Because the Lord don't play. This is Deuteronomy 32 and 39. It says, "See now that I, even I, am He, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand, because there's no telling what the Lord is going to do to take you out of here." I mean, 1,000 ways to die, that's nothing. The Lord has millions of ways to kill your ass, man. It's nothing. You know, I done seen so many and heard so many horrific ways of people dying. It's absolutely unbelievable the creativity the Lord takes into taking some people out. You be like, God damn! Like the three Asian dudes that they was walking. It was a video that I watched. It was three or four Asian dudes, and they was it was a big machine that they was parking, and this thing had to be as big as like a 2-story building, and three of the Asians had walked up under the machine, and the way they walked up under it seemed like it was just a normal thing, right? They walked under the machine, and boom, the machine, the crane, the thing that was holding the machine broke and smashed all of them to death. Okay, to goddamn jelly. Okay. So, hey, when the Lord got his sights on you, man, hey, you ain't getting out of it. Slocky, give me one sec. Slocky. All right, so continuing on. All right, so he said there's none that he can deliver out of my hand. So you ain't getting out of this. All right, the Lord is creative and he will find a way to kill your ass in a manner that's suited that suits him. Okay? This is Job um chapter 18 and 14, and it says, his confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and he shall be brought to the king of terrors. And this is the part that I wanted to get, the king of terrors, which is Yahweh. You know, it's a fearful thing to fall in the hands of the living power, man. He's the king of terrors, which means that there's no limit to what he can imagine to take your ass out of here. There's no limit. Okay? So you just need to be mindful of this, man. How about Shimmy Shai? He ain't playing. All right? He ain't playing. And some Jakes, he got a special, he has a special way to kill your ass. And this was one of them, because that right there was like, dang, you know, like that shows you that, hey, the Lord wanted my man gone quick, and he used an MRI machine to take this man out. That's crazy. Okay, that's crazy. All right, I had one more. Is that Isaiah 45? I think it was Isaiah 45. 45 and 7, I think. Yeah. This is Isaiah 45 and 7, and it says, I form the light, I create darkness, I make peace, and I create evil. I, the Lord, do all of these things. Okay? So when the Lord is putting judgment on you, hey, the Lord is the one that did it. Y'all think that the Lord is all fun and games and goody goody, and he love everybody, love. No, the Lord will kill your ass, man. Okay? He's gonna put 2/3 of our people to death. What do you think? You think he don't want to blot out a ignorant nigga that he been keeping his eye on? And then he be merciful at that, because he allows you to get a quick death. That's one. And two, he allows you to live your life, a little bit of life, before he take your ass out of here. My man was 60 years old. So there was even mercy in that. But the way that the Lord took him out is like, wow, that's crazy. Okay? Took my man right into a doggone man, that's crazy.
The man who was sucked into an MRI machine while wearing a 20-pound chain has sadly passed away. The incident happened on July 16th when police got a call that there was an emergency at NASA Open MRI.
That's crazy. My man had on a 20-pound chain. And in other reports, it says that, this 20-pound chain was a weight training chain that he had on. And again, I would say, you know what? I got something. So I'm going to go to the book of Proverbs, because, a man's goings is the way of the Lord. So as my man is putting on this stuff, he don't know why he putting on this stuff. He don't know why he wearing a 20-pound chain, right? The Lord is setting all this up. He's setting all this up for your demise. This is the book of Proverbs 20 and 24. It says, man's goings are of the Lord. How could a man understand his own way? You don't know why you're doing what you're doing, but the Lord has set the stage to take your ass out of here. and you don't even realize it. You've been brought to the King of Terrors, and the Lord is about to take your ass out of here, and you have no idea what's about to go down. Okay? So, I just wanted to do a quick hit on that. I'm in the lesson off by giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Until the next time I say Shalom.